So, I don't know how clearly we're going to come in. I don't know how long we'll be able to keep this up. But as you can tell, I am not in my normal streaming place. I'm also not with Joel. We couldn't get a hold of Joel. We're also super late. So anyone who's joining us live and sticking it through whatever ridiculously not great Wi-Fi we have going on, I appreciate it. Thank you so much. So we missed the last week. It was my fault because 9-to-5 job got in the way. So I couldn't miss the poll this week. So I'm actually in Baltimore right now with Sal because we're going to be attending Baltimore Comic Con. We were supposed to be here a lot earlier and we were supposed to have a lot more prep involved, but I have a personal thing that's going on right now and I don't mind sharing it with you. One of the Comic Pop cats is incredibly ill right now. Luckily, one of the Comic Pop members is actually caring for her. We think she's going to be fine. She's on antibiotics. She's on painkillers. They're doing blood work on her. So there's just a lot going on. But I still wanted to do the poll. I still wanted to do the show with you guys. So thank you so much for hanging out with us. Again, we're in a hotel, so we have hotel Wi-Fi. So we are actually doing this in literally the most jerry-rigged way we could. We have someone else back at Comic Pop Studios streaming the show for us and hosting the Skype calls. So here we are, guys. So you know what? Let's kick this off right. Welcome to The Poll, the show where we talk about the comics that come out each week, the day after they come out. Typically, I'm joined by my co-host, Joel. He couldn't be with us here today. So instead, Sal, right here, was very kind enough to hang out with me. Otherwise, I was going to be talking to myself and talking to you guys. But luckily, he showed up. He's totally on board. Thank you so much for being here.
I am completely here. What's up, everybody?
He's physically here. If you want to hang out more with Sal, you can find him at Sal Says What over on Twitter. You can find me at The Real Zoops. But you know, I want to get the show going because, again, I don't know how well the Wi-Fi is going to hold out. So why don't we kick it off? I'm going to go right into Doctor Strange number 25. It came out this week. Number 25. That's kind of a big deal in Marvel.
Yes.
Today.
Yeah, because nothing reaches 25 at this point.
Without having a reboot or getting canceled. And here we are at Doctor Strange number 25. And of course, we're in the midst of this in-between time between writers. You know, we had the Aaron Bocciolo team. Then we had the Dennis Hopeless during the whole Secret Empire thing,
yes.
miniseries. Now we're waiting for the next team to come on, including Donny Cates as writer. And that's not happening, I believe, until sometime in November. We're kind of just like...
What the hell's coming out for the next 2 months?
Well, this time we got a number 25, which was a celebration. It's just, it was a one-shot story, which was double length. It was 32 pages.
Yeah, wow. So it's like the usual length of a comic book.
Right. 32 pages. Interestingly enough, it celebrates the current run of Doctor Strange while also giving something to those classic fans. Folk who love old school Doctor Strange. Folk who miss Doctor Strange being over the top, ridiculous. Yeah, it is, but the simultaneous like story that's going on. For me, it also helps to cement the fact that they're like, look, we absolutely are following the Aaron timeline here. Like what he's done, having taken away magic, we're following that, and that's what you're going to expect from this, regardless of what anyone else is doing right now. That's what you're going to get from this until we solve the problem.
So they actually address the magic thing in this?
Well, they're like they essentially they make sure they take the problem that he created with the empirical and they go, we're adhering to this.
Yeah.
I know people like Bendis are ignoring it. I know other writers aren't paying attention to it.
No, they're not.
We are paying attention to it, and we're going to keep going forward with
Good.
this.
Okay,
and
good.
I really appreciate that. Like, it really helps to cement where things are going and where we are right now. Honestly, this issue doesn't do much.
It doesn't advance the story because it can't.
Exactly. It's not allowed to, and it really doesn't. But it is just a kind of fun romp. Essentially, of course, Wong has left at this point at the end of the Aaron run.
Yeah.
And it's just he and his ward Zelma. And essentially, he starts being attacked by people like Zelma. Who are turned into monsters, essentially, like demonous monsters and like demonic monsters, I should say. And it's like everyone in Greenwich Village starts doing it, and like he starts having these moments of like deja vu, where he's like, I've been here before. Flashbacks, where we see like Kevin Nolan art, and Kevin Nolan, of course, is kind of a classic artist, so he fits right in with his style. And we see this parallel story where there was this girl who he thought was possessed by something, and so what he did was, in order to drive it out, it was seeking memories. He tried to give it his own memories, and then like use a spell of forgetting to make it go away.
Okay.
She ends up thinking that some of this is real, so she ends up actually being committed to a psych ward.
Oh.
And once magic is gone, the spell breaks. And so, like, she gets it all back, and she remembers what happened. As it turns out, she just had magical abilities, and he was just wrong in his diagnosis back in the day. So she's mad at him, and now she's much older now. I want to say, like, late teens, early 20s, maybe. So he's really pissed. He doesn't remember through at all.
Okay.
So we kind of, we create this kind of sort of new villain aid. We don't know. We don't know what her motives are going to be from now on. He tries to apologize for it, but he's Doctor Strange, so he kind of bumbles his way through it. But at the end of the day, nothing really changes except we have this character now.
Right.
For me, I enjoyed the writing. I enjoyed what they attempted to do. I do feel like they're stalling though, and clearly they are.
Yeah, they just spin their wheels. But at least they gave you something kind of entertaining.
It's true.
That sounds like a really cool story that, like, I wouldn't have been annoyed to have read, but I also would have been like, well, you've been spinning your wheel for the last, like, 3-4 months because Hope was just doing tie-ins and it didn't matter. No,
it's absolutely true. But for me, I'm like, you know what? I'm still going to keep buying it because I still want the series to keep going. And the fact that it hit 25 and it did hit a milestone. And, Marvel is willing to celebrate it by giving it the extra pages. I appreciate.
Yeah, that's nice.
I appreciate it nonetheless. And so I'm trying to support the good things.
Right. Yeah, let's not focus on the negative of everything that means and just focus on what works.
Exactly.
And what we're excited about.
So, again, I'm still very, very excited for Donny Cates to take over for Strange. I've been enjoying it. For me, I'm just like, wow, it's 25 issues.
Yeah.
It's a weird thing to be excited for.
Yeah.
But, like, I still am.
I don't blame you there.
So, let me stick around in the scope of Marvel and talk about a book that hasn't been talked about, I think, probably since the last time you were on, and it's Renew Your Vows.
Renew Your Vows, number 11, written by Ryan Stegman, unfortunately, is out. This was weird because, for some reason, Jerry Conway, like, stopped writing the book for the last couple of issues, and Ryan Stegman took over to do this, this normie-focused story. If you're not familiar with Renew Your Vows, the premise is Mary Jane and Peter Parker are married, and they have a kid named Annie Mae Parker, and the kid is, like, 8 or 10 or whatever, and she has spider powers, too, and they're, like, doing the whole thing where Mary Jane is tapping powers from Peter so that she can have spider powers, so the two of them are like spider-powered parents, and Annie has her own powers.
Right, okay.
And so the three of them, like, clean up New York in kind of like a very Super Sons, not Super Sons, more like a, just Tomasi Superman kind of era story. And it's been really nice because the comic book, Spider-Man comic book mainstay writer Jerry Conway, who wrote so many different things, including the much acclaimed Carnage series, and the night when Stacy died, has been all over the place in terms of, like, he also, I think, created the Punisher. Like, he's that ingrained in culture and in Spider-Man in general. But anyway, Conway has been crushing it with Renew Your Vows, but his writing or his art partner Ryan Stegman was usually doing the pencils, and for this 2-part, 3-part, I don't remember if it's actually it feels like the book.
Hang on 1 second. I think we might have frozen.
Oh.
Hang on 1 second. I'm hoping we didn't, but I don't know for sure.
Yeah.
At least we look nice.
Yeah, right?
We're trying to find out.
Yeah.
I always have to keep talking just in case.
Right, that's fair.
Oh. I'm not sure what's going on, but if we are not, I want to say thank you so much to Getting Artsy with the Lobster for a super chat, which I would read, but I want to make sure that
it's being read.
It's actually being read. Try to do these things in hotels, it just doesn't work out. I don't know how you guys did it last time, didn't you? You streamed from hotels and the like?
I don't think so.
Oh. Well, show me a thing or two about a thing or two.
Yeah.
Let's see what's going on. Waiting to hear back from... Oh, okay, the audio's good. Okay.
All right. You know what?
Then you know what?
Screw the
Then
video.
You could just enjoy me laughing forever. But yeah, let me just say thank you so much to Getting Artsy with the Lobster. What Troopers the Weekly Pool Gang is. Best of luck with the situation, and Sal's sending a package for letters page.
Ooh, thanks.
It's got a little something, and the hints is it's inferior to Betamax.
Okay.
And then also, Mr. Giggles, thank you so much for your super chat. Throwback Thursday format and no Coke Zero. Yeah, no, we can't.
No, it's I didn't get a drink before we started the show.
It's true.
But yeah, so Renewing Vows number 11 is the continuation of this kind of focus on Little Normie, the son of Harry and Liz Osborne. Renewing Vows is like an alternate universe kind of story. So, they focus on a little like 90s centric tropes from Spider-Man's history. But Norman Osborn's grandson Normie is a super genius, and he's running Oscorp, and he has like an infatuation with a Spinneret. That is the name of Annie Mae Parker's superhero alter ego. Mm-hmm. And so he kind of focused on trying to like get her. And I think that what he did was he went subcontracting the Rhino to kidnap her so that she could draw Spider-Man in, so he could destroy Spider-Man. A classic Spider-Man trope story. But we also get to see like Papa Bear Spider-Man like beat the living crap out of Rhino because he's like teaching him a lesson.
Right.
And there's a lot of it was interesting, but it was not written by Conway. So it was kind of like, oh, that's kind of too bad. But I think Stegman did an admirable job. He did a fine enough job for it to be worth purchasing.
Okay.
I think it's worth it just because, like, the story is engaging. The characters are, of course, fun and in character. It's not like I just like watching Doctor Strange do stuff, but I'll only read what he does. Even if he's written poorly. Right. No, like everyone's in character, and that's kind of cool.
That's cool.
It was bad on the right, but still
right.
Fun.
Right.
Still fun.
And he's coming back though?
I don't know.
Oh.
Because they're doing a time jump, and then Faith from Valiant offered Jodie Hauser is going to take over the book. And I think she's going to do a good job, but they're doing a time jump, which means like Pete and Mary Jane will be much older, Annie's going to be a teenager, and it's going to be more focused on her, which is like, why didn't you just do the Mayday Parker series then? Because that's literally been like a 20-year-long book about Spider-Man's teenage daughter. It's weird, and it probably, for me, that means the book will be canceled probably within the year of its time jump.
You think so?
Oh yeah. Oh. Which sucks.
That does suck.
Especially since the numbers don't warrant the book. Like every month gets a little bit less. Like it loses between 5,000 and 10,000 readers.
Huh. I mean, that could just be for Marvel overall, though. Honestly,
yeah, it could be.
People aren't super happy with what they're doing at the moment.
Mm-hmm.
But we'll have to see. We'll have to see where it goes. I know this is like the one Spider-Man title you were really hanging on to for the time being.
Yes, I actually dropped Peter Parker Spectacular because it's just so formulaic and boring.
Well, there you go. So hopefully Spider-Man will pull its act together at some point.
The whole damn thing needs to come together. I don't know.
Somehow, they got to do something. They got to make some big changes at some point.
I agree.
Soon. I think we should talk a little bit about DC. We did honestly, miss a couple of things last week.
Yeah, there were a couple of big issues that came out last week, but
just a couple. But instead, we decided that we wouldn't even bother to talk about those, about the awesome reveals and the next issue of DC Metal. But there's plenty that came out this week. Let's just kind of briefly talk about Batman Wojar.
Yes.
Now, here's what's really weird for me. Wojar is one of those things where, like, there are elements to it that I really enjoy.
Yes.
Like, I really honestly enjoy certain parts of it.
Mm-hmm.
And I like King. And while this is going on, Mr. Miracle is coming out as well.
Yeah.
Which I am loving, and I didn't get to talk about last week, issue 2, which literally had me it was over, and I was like, I need the rest of this now.
Yeah.
Like, that is how enthralled I was with it. And then I have this, and it's, for me, nowhere near as strong.
Mm-hmm.
So it's these bizarre, simultaneous moments with King, where I'm just like, I have this part where I'm like, and then I have the other thing where I'm like, this is amazing, and I can't wait for it. So in terms of just in general, Wojar, in this we finally got the payoff for Kite Man. We got to see what it was all about. We got to see
more Kite Man.
Yeah, him pull this whole thing together for us. They utilize not only his knowledge of where the Joker is, but also his kite technology to get everyone in.
Yes.
This is a really weird conversation.
Well, they set him up in a really interesting way. Like, they've been building up Kite Man for no reason, and then that reason is paid off in this issue. If you were wondering why King's playing a long game with Kite Man, if we're all in on Kite Man, this is a reward issue for you.
Yeah.
It's like, wow, hey, Kite Man really pulled through in the clutch. That was awesome.
Right. And at the end, of course, like it comes down to the 3 individuals we knew it would always come.
I'd hope
down to. But yeah, we do get that. We also get a Catwoman tie-in, essentially. Like they're trying to pull it back around to being like, don't forget that we're...
Not that there's a Catwoman book.
No, but like this like tie back to it being
they pull her back, yeah.
Yeah, don't forget that she she is going to be possibly marrying him. Don't forget that she was around at the time.
Yeah.
And so like they give her a part here so that she
can remind you that she's in the book.
Exactly. But at the same time, like they do get rid of her in a sense, so that like she wouldn't actually know what happened.
Right.
At the end of the day. In fact, nobody except potentially Kite Man, who has been totally waylaid by the Riddler. Essentially what happens is they figure out that Joker's in like high rise, and that the place is just, you know, tricked out with all kinds of traps.
Booby traps.
Yeah. So there's no way they can come from above. They can come from below. They don't know how they're going to get in. Batman ends up sending Catwoman up the side of the building to see what's going on. Joker like spots her, shoots her through the glass. She realizes that the windows are not tripped out, so that they can go through there. And that's at this time the Riddler's like, we're all gonna go, like me and my whole army.
They have to.
I'm bringing my crew. Represent.
Yeah.
So they end up just fitting everyone with kites.
Yes.
But of course, Batman being Batman has another plan that he hasn't told Riddler about, and Riddler doesn't figure it out. And essentially is that they will take the kites that they made and they will put these like reverse parachute kind of things that essentially like...
It's the thing from Dark Knight, the movie.
Yeah, where people essentially...
Like a low flying thing.
Yeah, well, they pull them out and they send them high up into the atmosphere.
Which knocks them out.
And then Alfred in the Bat Blimp shows up and collects everybody to put back.
I'm shocked that King that he resisted the urge to show the Bat Blimp.
Right. We didn't see it. We just knew it was there. But essentially, it's just Batman showing that he does have one up on everyone, even though this is a Batman who is sort of new to this. So like that's kind of cool in a way where it's like, oh, look at him figuring it out. Look at him getting to this point.
Yeah.
Now, of course, for me, there are moments in this where King writes Batman almost like Rorschach.
Yeah.
Like a little bit. There are some bits of dialogue that I'm like, I really could see this being in Rorschach's journal.
Oh yeah, no, it's very weird.
It's very bizarre.
It's like King doesn't like Batman, which is like a weird trend that some of these new writers have. Where like Azzarello writing Batman, it's like, hey, guess what? I hate superheroes, and it's like Tom King writing Batman, like, hey, I'd rather be writing for a like either Alien or Automaton. And it's like, cool, man. Don't write Batman. There's a million people behind you who are waiting to do it, who have like killer pitches.
Yeah, no, it's true. I mean, like now it's just kind of gotten to the point where I'm like, okay, so you went through all this, you hyped up Kite Man, and now, okay, so now we're gonna finally see what happens, and like
this big secret.
Yeah, and like I gotta tell you, the ending to this was so almost like the way an anime might end, or like a soap opera might end, where it's just like, this is the thing that I will finally tell you about that has to do with why I'm not sure you want to marry me, and it's gonna happen in just a few more panels.
Yep.
Hang on.
Or episodes.
Oh, the book's over.
Yeah.
You gotta get the next one.
Right. It was a real like, woof.
Yeah. So I mean, like, the only thing I'm like excited for at this point is just to see. I just want to know what it is now. Like, I'm like, all right, you've done your job with that in terms of it. Like, I definitely want to know what happens. Like, what is this big secret? Because initially I thought it was the fact that he was going to bankroll one of them, and then I thought it was because he worked with the Riddler.
Yes.
But no, something else.
No, I always thought there was something deeper. There was like a thing he has to do that was like messed up. I don't know what it is, but what frustrated me the most was that the next issue is that the teaser at the end of this issue says to be continued and not to be concluded.
Right.
Is this seriously going to be more than one more issue left?
It might. I mean, we don't know.
Christ.
It really depends.
End it.
All right. So, Batman Wojar, it's an ongoing story, of course, for Batman.
Yes.
It should be finishing up
soon
enough.
I don't know. When is it going to be over? Does it say how many parts it's going to be?
Well,
in any case,
I thought it was supposed to be 9 parts, but now I'm not certain. I could be wrong.
It feels like 100 parts.
Well, why don't we talk about something from DC?
Yeah.
I think that you've been honestly enjoying DC Metal.
Yeah, Dark Knight's Metal.
Dark Knight Metal. He wanted to call it DC Metal.
I know, because it's about the DC universe, but it's also all about.
But it's Dark Knight Metal, the Red Death.
Yes.
It's like the first sort of tie-in book. Mm-hmm. It's like a tie-in, but it's not, because it's like, yes.
It's more like a background. Well, it is a tie-in.
It's funny because it has to do with the Flash.
Yes.
And it's written by the Flash writer.
Yeah.
But it's not in the Flash book.
No. Well, it's not. No, they didn't waste a perfectly good Flash book telling you the origin of one of the Batman from the end of Dark Knight's Metal.
Exactly. But honestly, if this is a taste of these origins to come, I'm pretty excited about it, because I thought this was really well written. And again, I don't know if it's just because of the fact that they got the guy who's working on the Flash.
No, I think it's because Josh Williamson's a good writer.
Yeah, he is. He's a very good writer. He's a good story craftsman. This book really held me. I'm not a regular Flash reader,
no, me
honestly, but I really enjoyed this.
Yep.
I know when we were talking about it a little bit, you mentioned that there were a lot of homages that were paid in it.
There's like a, it's literally like a drinking game of classic Batman stories or images or lines that you can like draw from. There's a couple of there's like 4 Dark Knight Returns moments. There's a couple of lines that allude to other things. It's a lot of cool stuff. Again, but not in like in a very authentic way. It didn't feel hammy and frustrating. It was just kind of like, oh, that's fun, like that's cool, it's evocative. And also, a few people have taken it to mean that maybe it might be alluding to more, because the idea of the dark multiverse was a neat concept, and then seeing that like the universe isn't even supposed to exist, like, and that these worlds are created from bad thoughts and not from bad decisions, and that they're destined to be destroyed, is a really strong concept. And it's really cool, and I really like it. And I wonder if all the allusions to Dark Knight Returns means that the Millerverse is in this world.
That would be honestly really interesting. I mean, I
don't remember. I haven't looked at the Grant Morrison multiversity map, but yeah. I
would hate for that universe to be doomed to being destroyed, even though it is such a dark place to be.
I mean, here's the thing. Only there are 4 tie-ins to the Millerverse outside of Dark Knight Returns: Dark Knight Strikes Again, Dark Knight Master Race, One Batman, and Batman Year One. There's only one other book from that list that's worth a damn, and it's Year One.
Okay, that's fair.
So.
If you didn't read this book, what happens?
Oh, don't start Batman Robin the Boy Wonder. I forgot about that one.
Oh, you don't forget about that. This book starts in essentially like it's Earth 52.
Yeah. Well, it's kind of like it's like now.
Yeah.
It's like if instead of Dark Knight's Metal or the Rebirth, this happened.
I guess, yeah. Batman or Flash is fleeing an unseen force. As it turns out, it's Batman. Yeah. I mean, obviously, we know that because we know where this book is going.
Right. We saw the cover.
Yes, and he is desperate to get a hold of the Speed Force.
Yeah, that was a great concept, but I was like, that's weird.
Well, I mean, I could see him inevitably coming to that conclusion.
Yeah.
I really could, depending on the way Batman goes.
Yeah. It's neat. It was a neat concept.
Seemingly in this world, though, everyone's gone. I thought that was what I took from it. That Dick Jameson, what's his name, Tim, they're all gone.
All dead. Yeah.
They all, none of them
or disappeared or whatever.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So I kind of, if that's the case, I like that Batman is driven to this point.
Yeah.
Where he's just like, I have to go back in time.
Right, exactly.
Back in time.
Yeah. Like you call the berry, and I was like, no, you can't. Only I can do that.
Yeah, exactly. It's not the same. It's different when I do it. I mean, I'm totally responsible and definitely haven't screwed things up before.
Yeah, I definitely didn't create the New 52.
By the way, if you're just joining us right now and you can only hear us, I apologize. We're actually in a hotel. It's going to attend Baltimore Comic Con. Even if I am a robot, because apparently that's a problem too. I'm fine. That's fine with me.
Who doesn't want to be a robot?
I'm just saying, like, when a robot overlords show up, like.
Yeah, I just use this as an example of how you
get
into the good graces.
Yeah, exactly. Come on, guys.
Yeah. So Batman chases Flash.
So he chases him, and inevitably he uses some Victor Freeze's formula to freeze him for long enough to waylay him.
Yep.
And then
strap him to the hood of the Batmobile.
Yep, and then use the plans from the Cosmic Treadmill to turn the Batmobile into
cosmic treadmill.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, essentially, and then use it to start going back in time. And in doing so, he completely destroys Barry and himself. And when he comes out the other side of it, he has the Speed Force.
He's also both himself and Flash.
Yeah, exactly. Like they're simultaneously together, except that the world is coming to an end.
Yeah.
And that's about the time that the Batman Who Laughs arrives, or at least is in his head, and has an offer from Barbatos for him.
Right.
So I'm kind of interested to see now, knowing how this went down, how, like, are they all combinations of that? Are they all bad characters?
I feel like they have to be now. But like, I don't think they're all going to be talking in their own heads.
Right.
Because I think, I don't know if it's telling tales out of school, the origin of the Batman Who Laughs, but it's like, from what I understand, he kills the Joker, and the Joker has rigged his body so that anyone who kills him becomes the Joker. So, like, this is a Bruce Wayne Joker.
Right,
so it's like they all become the person they're dressed as, but not necessarily... like, I assume that the Wonder Woman Batman is, like, he becomes the God of War.
Right, and he becomes Ares. Then, of course, there's the Aquaman one, which I'm wondering if it's Batwoman or Batgirl.
Right,
I'd like to... In place of Batman, like, in this universe...
Well, here's the thing. She responds to being called Bruce Wayne at the end of Dark Knight's Metal.
Right. Now, which is fair. We know someone who has a friend who's a girl who has the name Bruce.
Yes. So Bruce could be a woman's name.
It could just be that the Waynes had a daughter in this universe.
And they named her Bruce.
And then the parents died, and she went down the rabbit hole instead.
That'd be fair. Okay.
Right? Like, I'd be okay with that.
Yes.
Overall, if you're into Dark Knight's Metal, I would recommend you pick this up just because it's kind of a fun...
It's cool.
It's like a tie-in, but it's not, because it's not disrupting another story.
No, it's almost an Elseworlds book that also has, like, a continuation. It's fun. I dig it.
Yeah.
I don't like tie-ins. I like this issue.
Yeah, I agree. All right, let's just really briefly touch on another Marvel book. Spider-Man 2 number 3.
Yeah, Spider-Man 2.
Number 3.
Number 3.
I hate this
title. The 2. Yeah, it's awful.
Not the book itself. I actually really enjoyed this issue to the point where I kind of wish we could just read an issue or a book about these characters and not go back to the Spider-Man.
No, the Spider-Man stuff is kind of weak, but I will say that the whole book is just an origin for 616 Miles Morales, and it turns out that he was a mob enforcer with the Kingpin.
I kind of no, he became that, but my understanding was that like he was somehow tied in with the mob, but it was because of his cousin. He took the fall for his cousin, which got him in good with the Rigoletto family.
Yep.
And so they sent the Kingpin, who was like an enforcer at the time,
yeah, into
prison to protect him and also to ensure that he got out and to be like, hey, you did the right thing. You're
protected, yeah.
And like they forge an actual friendship, which to me is bizarre.
It's very weird to see the Kingpin with a real friend.
I know.
But I kind of really like it.
I do too. Like a friend he actually cares about and a friend he wants to succeed, and they like really take care of each other, and there's like an understanding, and it's like if there ever was a time that Kingpin could make a friend, it would be probably at that time.
Kingpin stuff.
Yeah, exactly. Like someone he could actually trust. Because honestly, this Miles does take one for him.
Yes, he does. Oh, he takes one right in the face.
He sure does. And the Kingpin ends up in the showers, which is you apparently never want to be in prison.
Nope.
Ever.
Yeah. According to pop culture, anything's been taught. Yeah.
Exactly. And a gentleman who has been after Wilson ever since Wilson was put in to protect Miles, finds him, and he got a knife, and he's taking drugs, which seems to
it's mutant growth hormone.
They're synthesizing powers, so he's faster than he normally would be. Yeah. He's got a crazy look in his eye, and he just starts slicing up the Kingpin. Miles shows up, stabs him.
Yep.
And the guy still is
going,
and so he slices up his face.
Yep.
But from that moment on, the Kingpin's like,
you are my friend.
Yeah, you are a true They have a true bromance building. These two.
Yeah.
And we see this adorable part, in the aftermath, where Miles is forging a relationship with a woman, and Kingpin's talking him up because he's disfigured because of the Kingpin.
Yeah.
And it's just really sweet, and I'm just this can't go well.
No, it's never
And
but
it's so sad.
But this is the Scarface effect and the Godfather effect and the Goodfellas effect. You got to do if you're doing a mob story about a couple of guys who are up to no good. You have to do, I know what that is, but you have to do the story where, he meets a woman and that ruins everything. That's always how it goes.
Yeah, no.
She's going to be the thing that makes him screw up his entire empire.
No, it's true. And like, but like, I was wondering if like he like, I don't know. Like, I would hate to see those two fall out, but like that's probably what's going to happen.
Yeah.
Like, the Kingpin doesn't seem to keep friends.
No.
I've never seen him with one, honestly. And like, I don't know if Vanessa counts.
No. He does not count.
So
it's just a good issue, but it has nothing to do with Spider-Man. If you're looking for Spider-Man, skip this one. But like, if you want Bendis really, if you want to see why people like Bendis, this is the issue to get.
That's exactly it. Like, immediately, like, he made me, like, once again, just enjoy the Kingpin. There was already a Kingpin
series
that came out, and, like, I really enjoyed that, and, like, his essentially, like, being like, I'm turning over a new leaf, and then his just descent downward from there. And, like, that, like, harkened back, or this issue harkened back to that series in a way. For me, where it's just like, yeah, I'm on board for this. He's having a good time, and he's friends, and, like, Otter Code, and he's still a monster, but, you know what I mean? Like,
but he's a young monster.
Yeah, exactly. But it was a fun issue. It was a cool standalone issue. But in terms of it being for Spider-Man, it seemed funny to put the brakes on.
Yeah, you need... Well, they haven't done anything yet,
and
it's the third issue out of 5, I think. So it's like... Yeah, clearly Bendis and he only needs one issue to execute it.
Yeah.
So he's kind of like filling it up.
Fine.
He created a new character in Defenders recently. He's doing that. You know, he's like, well, I need to use page real estate to set up new characters that will probably be used in the MCU that I'll get royalties for. And,
right.
You know, if I want to do a thing about Miles Morales, I'll do it. Whatever.
Exactly.
It's a cool book, though.
It was a cool book. I really enjoyed this issue. I don't know if this is something where it's just like, jump in here. If you haven't been reading this and you pick this up, you might just enjoy the story and then be done with it. Right. But it wouldn't actually help you to understand what's going on in Spider-Man.
No, but you don't even need it. If you just want to read like a fun story about the Kingpin and his friend, this is a great solo. This is a great one-shot.
Yeah, it is. Naira's pretty good, too. Yeah, she's really good. She does stuff with Kingpin I haven't seen before.
That's true.
And I kind of enjoy it. Not just the fact that he was completely naked at one point.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Yeah, thanks. But like, it's funny because you see him like unshaved at one point.
Oh,
like,
yeah. Kingpin actually like growing hair and facial hair. Just like, that's weird.
Like, what's happening?
Yeah, I don't care for that.
All right. That's pretty much the last Marvel book on our list.
Yes.
So before we go, I know there's one story you want to talk about. We're going to keep this one short again because of the...
Yeah, because of the... yeah.
But at the very least, we wanted to do this show. Didn't expect to be here so late. Didn't expect...
no, we were going to do this a couple hours ago, but it still would have been shitty.
It probably would have, but like we could have probably like kind of figured it out beforehand. But we missed last week, and I didn't want to miss this week in a row. So we're doing this, even if I sound like a robot and you can't see us. I'm doing it. I do want to talk about a really quick indie book that I read this week. It's actually by Aftershock, which is not a...
No, it's not an indie. Well,
it's not a publisher I normally pick up.
No, they're not.
But they put out a book called Dark Ark. Dark Ark #1. Dark Ark, really hard for me to say.
That's a horrible title.
It's written by Cullen Bunn, though, when I picked it up.
Well, there you go.
To summarize what this is out, Noah's Ark?
Yes.
Yes. Now imagine there was Noah's Ark, and then there's another Ark.
Another Ark, you say?
Another Ark. Instead of capturing all of the animals of the world, it caught all of the supernatural.
I was wondering where they all went.
Yeah, so like, you know how they're like, the unicorn didn't make it because they were playing or whatever. They're on this one. It's totally cool, whatever. But it's like unicorns, right? And then like harpies and vampires and like nagas and like demons and like all these like really horrible creatures are on one boat. And the person charged with this is a sorcerer who, like, his god came to him, like, listen, my boss, he's done with this place.
Right, like a sub-god.
Yeah, pretty much. It's like, he's getting rid of this. He's going to start over. So what I want you to get an Ark and save all the supernatural ones. Cool. Here's the other thing you got to do. Because if you don't, I'm going to kill your family. Because this guy has a family.
And this god is more of a dick, I guess.
Yeah.
Regular god.
Well, he's like, listen, here's the thing. There's another Ark, and it's got, like, people and animals on it.
Right. Regular animals like giraffes.
Yeah, that Ark has to survive, too. Because if at the end of the day, when like everything dries out and you guys go frolicking, if they're not there, you guys will have nothing to kill and eat.
Right.
So it would be for nothing.
Yeah.
So you got to keep them alive too. He doesn't bother shit with everybody else. Food supplies are running low. Morale is running low. The harpies are not having any of it. They find the other Ark and they're like, there's like an Ark over there. It's got like animals and people on it. We could just go eat them.
Right.
And he's like, yeah, no.
That's probably a really bad idea.
It's like that call, guys. I like this because it's Cullen Bunn.
Yeah. He's a good writer.
He really is. And he legitimately knows how to tell a horror story, honestly.
Yes.
And he, is putting out some interesting ideas. Again, this kind of has more religious connotations. I'm used to reading that isn't essentially.
Interesting. Okay.
But we also have supernatural mythology involved.
Yeah,
and,
usually.
There's this kind of fun psychology element in which the food for these monsters are other people that they're keeping on the ark, and the family has to feed them to them.
Oh.
And some of them are friends, and it's this whole weird balance thing, and one of the daughters is a virgin, and all the monster creatures are
that one.
That I'm gonna want that. That's what I want. So it's, I don't know where he's going with this.
Yeah.
But it can't be anywhere good.
No.
No, I'm really on board for this. I honestly cannot wait to read another issue of it. Again, Aftershock's not usually my bread and butter, but I enjoyed this. And I know a minute ago I said we had no other Marvel because I didn't write it on my list, but Venomverse.
Oh, yeah.
Venomverse number 3 came out this week. I missed Venomverse number 2, talking about that with you guys last week because it's coming out every week.
Yeah.
I'm still loving this whole thing. I'm not even a Venom fan, and I'm really digging this.
No.
This had them along. I was like, oh.
This is your Monsters Unleashed.
Really, really
where it's
is.
Hey, is anybody reading this? No? Well, it's still really cool.
Yeah, exactly.
And Cullen Bunn's writing it, right?
He is.
And that guy's getting screwed.
So, this issue was awesome because essentially last time around, Captain America was taken, and he's turned into a thing. Deadpool abandoned everyone because he was just whatever. I'm just going to go join the other guys. I think there's something more going on with that.
Yeah, of course.
We said that the Poison desperately want to get a hold of Venom Strange because they want him to pull more Venom symbiotes there to feed the army. Because that's essentially what's happening, what's going on here at this point. Not that Strange thought about it like that, but he realizes it by the end of this book. But Eddie Brock has a plan.
Oh, good.
Rocket Raccoon's got a plan too as a Venom. He's like, we're going to make a bomb. We're going to blow them all up.
Yeah.
But Eddie Brock Venom has a plan. He's just Strange, we got to get a weapon. And I know exactly what we're going to get. You're going to summon something for me. And so it takes everything Strange has to summon it forward. And immediately they start dropping words in. I'm like, oh, is that what we're doing? And through the rift is Carnage.
Yeah.
So Carnage is now in the book. Carnage is immediately just goes after Brock.
Yep.
And starts fighting some of the symbiotes, and Brock's like, I'm not going to fight you. And he's like, if you're not going to fight me now with full blast, then we're not going to fight.
Right.
I'll come back. And that's about the time that Deadpool, as a Poison now, leads the other Poison to where the remaining Venom are.
Right.
And Carnage is like, is that who you wanted me to kill? You want me to kill these crummy superheroes, these shadows themselves? Done. And he just rips into them, and he acts super effective against them.
Yeah.
To the point where they're like, they don't know what to do, and the Poison start freaking out and leave, and Captain America's there, and they're there to get Strange, so they go off to do that, but a bunch of them fall to Carnage because Carnage can just rip into them, and it's really fun to see them all working together. To know everything is built on the shakiest of alliances. Yeah. Eddie Brock doesn't really want to work with other Venoms. Carnage certainly doesn't want to work with Eddie Brock or any of the other ones, but everybody really enjoys killing the Poison.
Right.
So, and I don't think the Poison can infect Carnage.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's not.
Well, I don't know.
Well, the way that
weird.
Yeah, but they're not going after him the same way.
Well,
they only seem to be targeting the Venom symbiote.
Well, I mean, Carnage is an offshoot, and
I don't know if something.
He was born on Earth. He's in Cletus's bloodstream. I don't know.
Right. So also in the previous issue 2, we revealed that Dr. Doom Poison is behind all of this.
Cool.
Doom came as a symbiote, which you saw in the War Journal.
Yeah.
He came to that place, and immediately they took him.
Okay.
And so now they're also trying to get Strange now that they have him, but he's using as much magic as he can to keep them from getting him.
Yeah.
But eventually he will probably fall. He is their only way to get home for the other Venoms.
Uh-oh.
So they're trying to go get it back now because otherwise we can't leave.
Yeah.
So overall, for me, this is just a fun, ridiculous thing.
Yeah.
And honestly, with so much heavy content that's been coming out of Marvel, things that were either,
controversial or like heavy-handed.
Yeah, exactly, or just long-winded. Like, this is just a really fun palate cleanser. It's like this weird thing that's happening in this pocket area that, like, nobody's, like, talking about. People might be reading it, but, like, it's just happening over there, and it's just fun, and it's just ridiculous.
Yeah.
And it's not really affecting anything else around it right now. It's
Yeah.
just like, here's a cool story about a bunch of Venom characters.
Right.
Like, characters that you've never seen as Venom. Like, you got to see Storm, who was clearly a Venom, and then turned into a poison. Like, it's just fun character design at this point.
Cool.
But it's ridiculous, and I'm really enjoying it, and I'm going to keep going with it to see where it ends up.
Yeah.
But why don't we, by the way, I know someone asked Superman. I did read Superman this week.
Oh.
Really weird, really random,
Mm-hmm.
totally different art. Like, not a fan of the art.
And different writer, so...
Totally different writer.
You skip this one.
You can't, though.
Why?
You can't.
Why would they make an essential issue?
Well, I mean, you saw the cover.
Yeah. Which looked terrible.
With Superman versus.
I don't know. I didn't look at the cover.
I thought you looked at the cover.
No.
Versus the Terminator.
Oh, Brainiac?
No, the Terminator, not...
Oh, Deathstroke.
Yes.
Terminator. Yes, okay.
I like calling him the Terminator because he's like Slade, Deathstroke,
Yeah,
the Terminator.
There's a lot of different names.
A lot of names for this guy. So it's versus Deathstroke, and it really isn't. Lois Lane decides, like, she's going to interview this guy who's like a serial killer, or not a serial killer, he's like a mercenary killer, and when she goes to get the interview with him, because like the guy's all into it because he's also vain, he's dead, and it turns out Slade killed him.
Okay.
So then she's like, I'm going to interview him. And I'm just like, this is like Lois Lane, who has a son.
Yeah,
Lois
what are you
Lane.
doing?
They address that. I know, but I've got a career too. It's really weirdly written.
Yeah.
But she's gonna go get the interview, and so she's like traipsing all over the world, and like.
All right.
She ends up like getting attacked, and Superman shows up because like he gave her the stun gun.
Yes.
And like so he knows where she is.
Okay.
But then like Deathstroke does show up, and she does kind of interview him.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, like the last page reveal, for those who don't want to be ruined, the last page reveal is that he comes back after like they part ways.
Deathstroke?
Yeah, she writes her article. She's back in Metropolis. He comes back.
Mm-hmm.
And she's like, what are you doing here? And she's on the phone with Clark because she's like, all right, I'm coming home now. And he's like, I can't wait to see you. And blah blah blah. And I'm like, haven't you? All right, whatever.
Yeah.
But Deathstroke's like, I've got another job, and like it's to kill you. And he fires.
Oh.
And then the thing says the next part is like the shot her around the world or whatever.
Right.
So I'm like, are you gonna shoot Lois Lane in this like random like book written by someone totally different?
That nobody wants? That's weird.
Really weird story. It really was not about Superman. The fact that they showed Superman and Deathstroke fighting is
such a
weird.
dodge.
It's not
Boo.
anything. So
right,
we'll see what happens next, if he really shoots her or not.
Yeah, right. Well, that's usually how it goes.
Yeah. So, but another super book that came out this week, and we don't usually talk about on this show, Super Sons.
Yes.
I know you're a fan.
It's a great book. It's written by Peter J. Tomasi with art by Jorge Jimenez, and it is great. The art is phenomenal. The stories are great. They really take advantage of the format and play like different universes and stuff. Previous issues had Superboy and Robin. That's the book, by the way. It's Superboy and Robin. So like Superboy and Robin just teamed up with the Teen Titans, or the Titans, in the last issue.
Yeah.
And they fought against like a clay army from another dimension, and they are in they're fashioned to be like old superheroes and supervillains from like alternate realities and stuff. It's really cool. They go down the rabbit hole, they go into another dimension where they came from, conceivably, and it becomes Guardians of the Galaxy 2, where they're on the surface of a planet that wants to kill them, and the planet itself is like evil and stuff. It's cool. It's just a fun story, and it's just pure popcorn comic books, but without it being like really dumb. It's just jubilant, It's just about kids being kids, but also having superpowers. Except for Robin, who does not have any superpowers. Superboy makes sure to remind you of that a couple times.
Well, I mean, that's fair because it is Damian, and Damian is
just
never...
such a pain in the ass.
Well, I was going to say, he's never afraid to flaunt his intelligence and his training and his ego.
And he does.
So, I get John wanting to give him a jab.
Yeah, being like, oh, that guy, he doesn't have any powers.
Yeah.
Don't get excited. And that's really great. And we also meet some new characters, and they're fun. And it's just a great series that, if it were drawn by a lesser artist, might fall by the wayside, but it's just phenomenal.
That's awesome. I mean, I think what's important for publishers is to be able to balance having something that is fun and, you know, like you said, like jubilant, while also doing things that are very serious, that are like...
Yeah, it's like what all ages books are supposed to be, where it doesn't talk down to its audience, but is like very absorbable for people who are under like 12.
Right.
But you can enjoy it at the age of whatever. You know, it's just fun and good, and you know, maybe some things would go over the heads of a younger reader, but maybe not. And that's kind of part of like the joy of reading comics in general. It's why like comics are great, because you can get into them at any age, and you know, you can enjoy the colorful superheroics, but you can also like go deeper and find something really cool and like worthwhile that like, you know, maybe you missed the first time around.
Right. And I mean, even like, not just from an all ages like version essentially, but also like the idea of they're doing DC metal right now, which is not necessarily something that's like, you know, heartwarming or anything like that. Like, it's very serious, a lot of continuity, like a lot of action, a lot of drama. And so from the same publisher to have something
like that,
like Super Sons, you know what I mean? Like, not that they're on like necessarily going to balance each other out.
No, it speaks to their versatility.
It absolutely does. And honestly, I think that it's nice for them to pay attention to those types of books, or to pay attention to those types of moods in general in comics, and to have that available. Yeah. Because if you just keep doing
like dark and serious, well, then you have like 2003 DC.
Right. Where it's just like, okay, but if everything is like, it's really hard to like
find the light and
or
yourself.
To even just like take it seriously anymore.
Right, if everything is grimdark.
Exactly. Which is honestly, I think, why I'm enjoying Venomverse so much, because it is so like ridiculous and over the top. And sure, like there are great stakes and all that stuff, but like
it's kind of dark because it's Venom. But
a little bit.
But it's like not.
But it's also, you also have like raccoon venom.
Yes, which is awesome.
Right, like it's ridiculous at the same time. It's very, very nice to see publishers, you know, be able to find some sort of like nice balance between styles.
Agreed.
And also, you know, give you a place to go, like you know, like a little bastion of like being like, I'm really enjoying like what's happening over here.
Yeah.
Like, you know, especially when you go and you see like your pull list, and it's just like, okay, gotta get to this event, I'm gonna read this, I got the tie-in, and then Super Sons.
Yeah, I know, just a little breath of fresh air, which is part of its own ongoing story, but it's still, you know, just a fun little reprieve.
Right. All right, guys. Again, this was kind of a very weird version of the poll, but I still wanted to do it. And we'll be back. I'll be back in the space next week, streaming on real internet with like real moving pictures.
Yep.
You know,
with real co-hosts.
You're a real co-host. I had a really good conversation with you.
I appreciate it.
I
agree.
Enjoyed this. This was a lot of fun. Thank you guys so much for sticking around if you did. I'm sorry, A, that the time was so different. B, we didn't have video because it's just not working. I mean, it's working over here. I can see.
Yeah, we can see ourselves, but you can't see us.
But you can't see us.
You can see us, but it doesn't work.
No. But like, I'm just frozen in time looking down.
Yeah.
That's okay. I'm good with that.
Why not?
Clearly, I dropped something in that.
Yep.
But we'll be back next week. We will talk about the books that come out next week. Very excited. Just honestly for what's going on, like for both sides right now. I'm hoping that Marvel's going to be putting out some continuously fun things once again.
Yes.
And DC Metal, I'm just really digging it right now.
I agree.
Digging it.
It's something.
Especially because honestly, everyone keeps telling me that Dream is on the cover of like issue 4.
Yes.
And I'm like,
it better be cool.
You better not do the thing where it's like, I put this on the cover and then.
Yeah, they like to do that.
They do. I hate that.
But hey, you know, you're going to be physically in Baltimore at the Baltimore Comic Con.
I know. We're physically in Baltimore right now. So if you are attending Baltimore Comic Con, you can actually hang out with me and Sal. Tomorrow, we'll both be there. I will be leaving Friday evening, but Sal will be also there part of the day on Saturday. So if you see us there, come say hi.
That'd be great.
Yeah, like totally just yell across the room. If we don't hear you, it's not because...
We're ignoring you.
It's because we're kind of, you know, we're just deaf.
Yeah. We're in our own places.
Yeah, honestly, it's just we're spaz.
Yeah.
But it's in the con scene. I'm just like, oh, colors.
Yeah. No, it's very distracting, but in a good way.
Yeah, exactly. So if you guys are in the area, come down, say hello. Don't be afraid to come say hello.
Agreed.
Just come up to us.
Yeah.
Like, hello.
We'll do it up. That'd be great.
We'll say hi. We'll probably like ask what you're doing. We'll probably ask more questions of you.
Yeah, then you'll ask of us.
Yeah. So prepare for that. For a quiz.
Precisely.
On you. But no, thank you guys for hanging out. Again, I apologize for the quality of this episode, but I didn't want to go 2 weeks in a row without one.
That's like death.
I was very uncomfortable with that. I was uncomfortable with missing last week, but literally I couldn't help it.
It was an emergency.
Yeah, if you were at the beginning there and you heard about Comic Pop Cat, we will be sure to let you guys know how things are going.
Yes, we'll post some updates about it in the future.
Yeah, and for those who are just joining us now, one of the Comic Pop Cats is ill right now. It took everything I had to actually leave to come here because I just wanted to stay with her and take care of her. But we do have members of the Comic Pop team taking care of her right now. So hopefully all is well with her.
Yes, we're looking forward to getting updates, and we'll give you them as we get them.
We're getting updates, moderator, who you know who I'm talking about, who's watching the cat right now. But we'll talk to you. I'll see you guys next week. And Sal, I think we're gonna have you on again.
Thank you. I would love to be back.
Because I really had a great talk with you. It was a lot of fun.
Thank you. Yeah, I agree. I had a good time.
So we'll have to do this again sometime. But next time, guys, we'll have better internet. Better video is going to be a big thing.
Yeah, it's going to be great.
And all new comics to talk with you guys about. If you want to hang out with us outside the show, going over to @SalSaysWhat for Sal's Twitter, and you can head over to @TheRealZoobs for my Twitter, and we can chat it up. But otherwise, if we don't see you at Baltimore, I'll see you guys next week. Bye.